there's an island where time stops, where compasses spin wildly, where the sea doesn't follow the rules, an island that exists on maps, but shouldn't exist in reality. 120 kilometers south of Tasmania, beyond the reach of civilization, beyond the safety of shipping lanes, lies Maatsuyker Island. Coordinates: 43 degrees, 38 minutes south, 146 degrees, 17 minutes east, the southernmost lighthouse in Australia, and perhaps the most haunted place on Earth. For centuries, this rocky outcrop has been the graveyard of ships. The Southern Ocean meets the Tasman Sea here, creating waves that tower 15 meters high. Winds exceed 120 kilometers per hour for weeks at a time. In winter, the island becomes completely inaccessible for 8 consecutive months. No boats, no helicopters, no escape. Since 1841, when the lighthouse was first constructed, only one keeper has ever completed a full year stationed here alone. The others left changed, broken men who refused to speak of what they witnessed. Some requested immediate psychiatric evaluation. Others simply walked into the sea, or never left at all. The records are incomplete, deliberately, some say. Between 1841 and 1987, when the lighthouse was finally automated, 14 keepers were officially stationed here. 6 disappeared without explanation. Their bodies were never recovered. The logbooks from those periods show erratic entries, increasingly desperate handwriting, and then nothing. Just blank pages, as if time itself had stopped writing. In 1923, Keeper Thomas Morrison arrived at Maatsuyker Island with impeccable credentials. Former naval officer, decorated for bravery, psychologically sound. His first 3 months passed normally. Regular radio check-ins, standard weather reports. But in his 4th month, the transmissions changed. He began reporting figures on the cliffs, shadows that moved against the wind, voices calling his name from the rocks below. His final diary entry, dated November 18th, 1923, read simply, "They walk the cliffs at night. I can hear them calling. They know my name. Tomorrow, I will answer." He was found 3 days later by the relief crew, standing on the highest cliff, facing the sea. His eyes were open, and he was smiling. The official cause of death: exposure and hypothermia. But his body temperature was normal, and that smile, it never faded. Scientists have tried to explain Maatsuyker anomalies. The island sits at a unique convergence point, where the Southern Ocean and Tasman Sea collide. The weather patterns are chaotic, changing every 20 minutes. Barometric pressure fluctuates wildly. The geological composition is ancient Precambrian metamorphic rock, over 600 million years old, older than complex life on Earth. Some researchers suggest the magnetic properties of the rock create navigational disturbances. Others point to infrasound, low-frequency vibrations produced by wind passing over the cliffs can induce feelings of dread, paranoia, and hallucinations in humans. But these explanations don't account for everything. They don't explain the recordings. They don't explain the smiles. Walking the paths of Maatsuyker is like stepping into another dimension. The vegetation grows at unnatural angles, bent permanently by relentless winds. Lichens coat every surface in colors that seem too vibrant, too alive. The lighthouse itself stands defiant, 294 steps from base to light, each one worn smooth by decades of footsteps. Inside, the silence is absolute. No wind penetrates these walls, just your breathing, and sometimes something else. Long before European settlers arrived, the Palawa people of Tasmania knew this island. They called it Deen Heer, the island of ghosts, or more accurately, the place where souls linger. According to oral traditions passed down through generations, Maatsuyker was a threshold, a gateway, between the world of the living and the world of spirits. The Palawa never landed on Deen Heer. It was forbidden, sacred, and dangerous in equal measure. They believed that to set foot on the island was to invite the attention of those who dwelled between worlds. And once they noticed you, they would never let you leave. Not truly. You might return to the mainland in body, but part of your soul would remain forever on those cliffs, walking, calling, waiting. Modern science dismisses these stories as superstition, mass hysteria, cultural mythology. But the locals, the fishing crews who work these waters, they refuse to sail past Maatsuyker after dark. Ask them why, and they will look away, change the subject. Or they will tell you, you hear things out there, things that sound like your name. And if you look too long at those cliffs, something looks back. In 1967, a scientific expedition landed on Maatsuyker to conduct geological surveys. They brought recording equipment to document wildlife sounds for a university study. On their third night, with winds calm and visibility clear, they captured something on tape. The official report classified it as unexplained auditory phenomena. The recording has never been publicly released, but copies have circulated among researchers. What you are about to hear is that recording, 30 seconds of audio captured at 2:47 a.m. on July 22, 1967. Listen carefully. In the background, beneath the wind, you will hear voices, multiple voices, calling, whispering, speaking words that sound almost like names. And then, at the 23-second mark, a sound, not wind, not birds, something else, something that makes your blood run cold. The expedition left the next morning, abandoning thousands of dollars in equipment. They never returned, and they never agreed to be interviewed about what else they experienced that night. 12 keepers stationed over 146 years. 6 vanished without trace. 1 was found smiling at the sea, dead from no apparent cause. 3 were institutionalized with identical symptoms: paranoia, insomnia, and the unshakable belief that something was calling them back to the island. 2 resigned within weeks, refusing to discuss their experiences even under legal obligation. And the island remains, unchanged, unmoved by human suffering or scientific inquiry. The lighthouse still stands, automated now, its light sweeping across empty waters every 15 seconds, a warning, a beacon, or perhaps a lure. The cliffs still rise vertically from the churning sea. The winds still howl with voices. That might be wind, or might be something older. Maatsuyker Island doesn't need to explain itself. It doesn't need to be understood. It simply exists, waiting in the cold southern waters, watching with eyes made of stone and time, erasing the minutes, the hours, the sanity of anyone who dares to stay too long. Because some places are not meant for humans. Some places belong to something else. And Maatsuyker has always been one of them. Some places are not meant to be understood, only witnessed, respected from a distance. Maatsuyker Island doesn't appear on most tourist maps. It doesn't welcome visitors. There are no tours, no hotels, no safe harbors. But it exists, undeniably, permanently, and somewhere in the space between documented reality and whispered myth, in the gap between scientific explanation and unexplainable experience, it watches. Perhaps that is what terrifies us most. Not that the island is haunted, but that it doesn't care. It existed for 600 million years before humans evolved. It will exist for millions more after we are gone. Our fear, our disappearances, our smiling corpses, they are footnotes. brief disturbances in an eternal geological patience. There are hundreds of places like this scattered across our planet. Islands that erase time. Coordinates where ships vanish without distress calls. Forbidden zones where experienced explorers walk in and never walk out. Mountains that rearrange themselves. Forests where compasses fail and GPS signals die. We have mapped the Earth, we say. We have conquered it with satellites and sonar and scientific certainty. But Maatsuyker Island reminds us we have only mapped the surface. Beneath, between, beyond our instruments and our understanding, the world remains wild, unknown, and watching. This is just the beginning. Next, we will explore the Bass Strait Triangle, where more vessels have disappeared than in the Bermuda Triangle, where pilots report instruments failing and time moving differently, where something beneath the waves might be far more ancient than we are ready to accept. If you felt the call of the unknown while watching this, if something stirred in you when you heard those recordings or saw those cliffs, then you are one of us. Subscribe to Shadow Cartography. Turn on notifications, because the next forbidden place is already waiting. We are already researching it, mapping it, preparing to show you what exists in the margins of maps and the footnotes of history. And here is the unsettling truth. It knows you are watching. These places, these coordinates of impossibility, they have a way of noticing attention, of drawing curious minds closer. So, subscribe, join us. But remember, some doors, once opened, can never be fully closed. Some knowledge changes you, and some places never let you leave. Not completely. The island is still there. The lighthouse still turns, and somewhere, on those cliffs, something is still walking, still calling, still smiling at the sea. Welcome to Shadow Cartography. Real places, real mystery, real consequences. The ocean keeps its secrets. The stones hold their silence. And you now carry the weight of knowing what lies beyond.